fly up for you over there?
Yeah, wow. Ocala. Hope everybody's waking up. I'm 3 hours off, so it's 8 in the morning.
So we met in a little town called Shreveport, Louisiana. Shared a hotel, and I mean not a hotel, but shared an elevator. Yeah. Let's clear this up. Some rumors. Shared an elevator in the hotel in Shreveport. So, what's your initial impression of Ocala now that you're here? I told you, hey, I said if you're going to be in Ocala, we might do a panel together, and it's going to be a fun time.
Well, and I'm happy for the Japanese animator in the corner. He's got a great following. That's very cool. I haven't seen anything. I got here last night in the dark, so this is what I've seen. It's beautiful looking.
Yeah, we have those street lights out here.
Yeah, it was very dark. I went to the Chili's at 11 o'clock.
Did you see the one where Jeepers Creepers was filmed?
No, I've heard about that. I'll have to see it tonight after.
All right, so how I like to do panels, again, my name is Matt Knowles. I'm from Signature Creations, content creator, comic writer. I'll be hosting the morning panels today and tomorrow. We're going to have a conversation up here. We're going to be hanging out like the old friends that we are from Shreveport. Yeah. But if you guys have a question, we don't want you to wait till the end. We want to get you guys the information that you want. So if you have a question, raise your hand, and when there's a logical stopping point, we'll get it at any point during the panel, right? So, first and foremost, we're going to go to the most obvious thing. How did you get cast, and what was it like for you going, holy crap, I get to play this iconic character of Herman Munster?
So, for those of you that don't know, it's Rob Zombie. The Munsters coming out in 10 days on Netflix, and also on DVD, and there's a behind-the-scenes movie that goes with it. And so Rob has been trying to make this movie for 20 years. He was a huge fan as a kid, and you know, things come and go. But about 10 years ago, he asked me if I would do it. I remember I was driving and I had to pull the car over because I got so nervous and hyperventilating. And I think I've done one movie, maybe two with him. I've done 5 altogether, but I couldn't believe, he honored me with this idea. So I was really freaked out, and then it didn't happen. They ended up doing it, another version of it, and that's with Jerry O'Connell. He played Herman Munster, and it was a pilot. I think Brian Fuller maybe did it, but it didn't go well. It didn't continue. So after that, later on, 3 years ago, maybe 4 years ago, he asked me again. I was very excited and nervous. And then it got postponed, and it just keeps getting postponed over COVID. So by the time it came time to do it, I was like, all right, let's do this. I've already watched all the episodes, and I was ready. So I guess at the end, by the time we showed up, we shot it in Budapest. By the time we got there, I felt like I knew what I was going to attempt. And luckily, we were there for 3 months, and we had a month of rehearsals, which is very rare nowadays. When you're doing a movie, usually you just jump right on set and you start shooting. So I think in that month, we were able to kind of shape it with the other actors. There was only a small group of us that went because of COVID. And Budapest at the time was locked down. Restaurants were closed. People on the set were wearing shields and masks and everything. So it was a bit surreal, just like 6 or 7 Americans coming over trying to make this movie that takes place in Transylvania.
So what was, you said you got nervous when he asked you. Were you more nervous that Rob Zombie was asking you to do something, or more nervous because you're like, holy crap, I'm getting asked to do this iconic character that's been around for half a century?
No, it was more about the iconic character. I mean, those are some big shoes to fill.
Pun intended.
Drum roll.
All right, so you said that obviously you've watched every Munsters episode that is out there.
Yeah.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but the TV show is pretty much slapstick comedy, where the movie, just in the trailer, seems like it's a little more avant-garde. I mean, stuff you would expect out of Rob Zombie. Do you feel like the movie takes the character?
No, it's in the same spirit as the TV show, definitely. campy fun. It's a family, which is another strange thing for Rob Zombie to do. If you know his other films, to do a family movie. I mean, every day we were waiting for somebody's head to get chopped off or something, and it didn't happen. But no, we were all there, like, to make something family-friendly, fun, campy, close. Because it kept getting delayed, they still had all the wardrobe people and the art director and the production designer. They were all still on payroll, so they were like creating more and more stuff. So it kind of worked to our advantage that it kept getting delayed. But no, it's in the same spirit. It's, visually it's stunning, and you'll see all these crazy colors. But it's the same kind of humor as a TV show.
So, with all the other characters, I would assume obviously they're going to have time to make up, they're going to have time getting their wardrobe on, but your costume looks like the one that probably took the most amount of time to get on and to keep right. What was the process like of every day having to go in and get
Definitely, I was like 4 hours of makeup every day and an hour to get out. And then we'd shoot, 12 hours. So every day I was just like I was a zombie by the end of it. I was just like, I'd get there in the morning, I'd just try to wake up and try to, keep that energy up. And then the balance of these 7-foot, or 7-inch heels, and then you have a muscle suit, right? So the muscle suit, I was 15 degrees hotter than everybody too. So I was just dripping wet, no skin was exposed, and it's like wearing a wetsuit. And so I'm doing my thing, and then by the end of the day, I was just passed out, and the ladies would just take it off with the makeup and then throw me in a bus back to the hotel and ship me back in another 7 hours.
So did you feel like a different man at the end of this? Because, weight loss, I'm sure, was probably
I tried to keep up the food and everything because of that, and drank a lot of water. Because there was a couple of days I got woozy, for sure. You don't even realize until, you're past the point.
So what are you most excited about for the fans to be able to see this movie? What's the thing about this movie that has you the most excited?
I really think it's just that expose a whole new generation, because I love the Munsters growing up. And, like the Addams Family, a lot of people don't know that original show, and they know the movies. So it's in the same, it's a love letter to the show. It's not, no one's trying to reinvent it. Those episodes exist, you can watch them all. But we've kind of wanted to bring back that kooky humor and, that love of, it's a love letter between Herman and Lily. You get to see what Transylvania is like. You get to see, it's an origin story. You get to see the creation of Herman himself. And then there's just a bunch of great cameos from the original show. All those characters like Zombo and Uncle Gilbert and Brother Lester. All these characters from the original show won't be in the movie. And I think it's just going to be a lot of fun, and I think we can all just use something lighthearted.
Absolutely. So before we move on right now, does anybody have any questions right now? What you got right here in the front row?
Yeah, actually, I know when they showed the trailer and stuff, there was everybody going to the bar. It looked like it must be cold out.
No, there's a funny thing is, I was in that suit. I was fine. Everybody else was cold. I was always like, that was like one of the nicer nights. Yeah, that was a crazy thing, because even that, because we were shooting a lot of nights, so it was like day to night, and that, I think we shot that like 4 in the morning, and here, you're gonna go through that door, and don't fall off the stairs, because you only got 6 feet, but look happy, it was just constant kookiness like that.
All right, what you got? Speak up for us.
How many hours does it take to apply all the makeup?
Yeah, it was 4 hours to put it on, and then an hour to get it off.
And that's every day. Every day, 4 hours.
How many scenes can you do with the makeup on before you, like you said, you drop?
So how many scenes can you do before the makeup shuts around?
It's just an hourly thing. It just depends. Yeah, they had me going nonstop. Yeah. I think I only fell a couple times, and that was because some electricians put their cables under a rug. So I was like walking and I hit the rug and I went, whoa, you know, like. But otherwise, I think I stayed on my feet most of the time. I thought for sure I was gonna like twist an ankle or blow out my knee or something because I was always like dancing or running around.
Herman, the original Herman used to do a lot of
I was
that.
trying to get as close as I could. So I mean, I don't put on an impression of Fred Gwynn, but I definitely, you know, pay homage to the laugh and a lot of the mannerisms. So I think you'll get that when you see it.
All right, right here in the back, what you got?
I mean, I had the shoes, and it's funny you say that. So it was the last day, and I never take. And at these cons, people come up all the time from different movies, and they have a costume that I wore, and they sign it or something. But I never take anything. I just I worked in the art department for years too. Before I got the last 20 years mostly in front of the camera, but went to film school, and so I always pay such high respect to the art department because you have to return that stuff and everything. So I never think to take anything. But it was the last night of shooting in Budapest, and Rob said, "Hey, are you gonna take anything?" And I'm looking at him like, "What do you mean?" He's just like, "Yeah, I thought for sure you'd want to take a wardrobe." Yeah, maybe I will. And then he leaves the trailer. And then I go in the wardrobe and I go, "Hey, that leather jacket I was wearing, do you think I can get a hold of that?" And they go, "No, Rob already got it." So he told me this after he already got all the cool stuff.
So, but you did get the boots. So did you wear those boots for the Chili's last night?
The funny thing is he gave me the boots before we started so I could practice in them. So I didn't even think anything cool. So,
All right, you got another one in the front. What you got?
Yes, I just want to let you know the only reason the Munsters and the Adams family hasn't been connected to future generations is because we only had the 3 networks going to work.
Yeah.
NBC and CBS. If we would have had cable, I think it would have still been, alive.
Well, that's the thing. So I don't know if anybody can hear, but he's saying that they only had, a few networks. Those shows were on those networks. And the rest of the world didn't necessarily see these shows. Like, I was surprised, though, in the UK, they didn't know who the Munsters were for, YouTube, whatever. And now, everybody's like, why? It's too bad it's only on Netflix. Well, Netflix has that audience of like 600 million people around the world. So it will be interesting to see how far this goes in 10 days. So, first it's going to be in the States, but I think later in the month, I think it'll come around